Hey everybody, Leah here with your Wednesday pick a card reveal for the 21st of June 2023. So the first card we have here is the 10 of Wands, and this speaks of carrying a burden. It looks like things have just been really difficult. You've been putting in so much work, and it just feels like the outcome or the goal that you're headed for is just always that little bit out of reach. It really does feel though that while you feel like the expectation is all on you to achieve this or to provide in some way, it feels as though this is just the expectation you've put on yourself. It doesn't feel like this is coming externally from anyone else in your life, even though that may be the way you currently perceive it. So you're really being asked to stop for a moment, just kind of put that burden down just for a little while and just sit with it and really try and rise above the situation, look at it from different perspectives and ask yourself why you're doing it. Is this something that you really want to achieve? Is this something that you are doing because you think someone else wants you to? Have you spoken to that other person? If you have that conversation, particularly if it's a loved one, they might see you just kind of killing yourself for this goal, but unaware you're doing it for them. You think they want you to do it, so you're continuing on with it. Sometimes a conversation just kind of clears all of that up, and it might be like, no, I would much rather have you home and with us as opposed to out, slogging away so hard that we don't ever see you. So have a conversation with anyone else involved. If there's no one else involved, and this is just a pressure you put on yourself to achieve or to be a success in some area, really just ask yourself, is this something you still want to continue? Or is it time to change direction? Now, if it is something you really want to do, if you feel like this is something you want to complete, then again, look for other ways around it. Look for ways that it will be easier to get there, that it will flow a bit better. It really feels like you're kind of, pushing against the tide right now. And so when that happens, it means that there needs to be a shift. Something needs to be done differently. So I feel as though this can be successful. You can bring it to completion, but perhaps look for other ways of doing that that will be more successful and less strain on your emotions and your physical body. The oil that I've partnered with that is the oil of a bow. This is the oil of accountability. And so it's really helping you to open that door to this significant change that you're looking for. If things have stopped progressing, it can help you to really reassess that and look into that a bit and see why that has happened. And then it helps to get you back on track to really realign your course with solutions that are available to you. So a really good oil to work with if you are struggling with something today and you're just not quite sure, you know where you want to get, but the way you're trying to get there just doesn't seem to be working. And so using this oil to just sort of sit with and meditate with will help you to see those other possibilities and options that are actually available to you to make this a success. And for some of you, you may just choose to let that one go and start working on something different. If you do that, please take a little bit of time to just relax, to rest, to be, to reflect before you jump into something new. So card number 2 is the card of Judgment. So this is a card of renewal, awakening, resurrection, rising up again in a transformed state. This can be you transforming into your higher self. It's always moving upwards when you get this card. So it's a reminder that every day is a chance to do something better, to do it differently, and it's never too late to start anew. If you have been working towards something that no longer feels right for you, then shift direction, do something else. This is really a card of self-reflection, and so you might, go in and do some of that inner work and then go, oh, okay, this isn't really where I'm headed. It could be an aspect of it, it could be something entirely different, but this is you choosing to be on the path you know is right for you, even if it is not the one you have been on. And also for others of you, this really feels like it can be something you have been working towards and you're just really getting into that groove and you're starting to see it pay off. There is success coming, it's being acknowledged, you're being rewarded, and people are starting to notice that. So really continue on. If that's where you're at, just stay aligned and you'll just keep going in leaps and bounds ahead. So the oil I've partnered with that is the oil of basil. This is the oil of renewal. And so this helps to address any exhaustion or mental strain that you've been under. If you are starting to lose energy around this, if you're feeling a little bit burnt out, then it just helps to bring back that natural energy. It helps you to find that hope and optimism about where you're headed and why. And it really gives you that strength and renewal so that, you can come out from underneath anything that's been stressful to really find your passion again. And so you can follow that and make this a real success. Card number 3 is the Knight of Wands. And so this talks about being a really free spirit, that you kind of act without thinking, that you just sort of throw caution in the wind and you full steam ahead, and it's just like, well, we'll see how that plays out. So what you really want to look at here is, when it comes to outcomes, is it a conscious choice that you made? Is that, where you thought you would be? Was that the goal? Or are these just a byproduct of your behavior? Do you just kind of get to somewhere and go, oh God, how did I get here? And it's just kind of like, because you've just, run with it and not really thought it through. So if you have this card today, this may be you. You might be laughing right now and recognizing that as how you kind of do life. It might be that you're being told that, there's something happening in your life that you need to sort of stop for a minute and really look at and just ask yourself, is this where I want to go? And it can be like, if an opportunity comes in or someone comes to you with something and they're excited and they're passionate and they kind of get you caught up in all that too. And then, next minute you're handing over a whole heap of money or something like that. So it's really making sure that what you want to do is what you want to do, and that you have thought about where that outcome's going to be. So this can be being very passionate and brave. So this isn't all, it's not all sort of a downside. This can be you being very passionate about what you're doing. It can be, moving forward and embracing adventure, and that can be a really good thing too. But adventure versus recklessness, they're different. And so it's really looking at why you're doing something and how you're doing it, and if that's actually in your best interest. So the Knight of Wands can signify danger. You can see there the moth and the knight are getting a little bit too close to the flame. I don't feel like this is anything, too bad here. It doesn't feel like, a warning but it does feel like perhaps you are just being a little bit impulsive maybe, and running into something headfirst without sort of thinking it through a little bit more. So I also feel like with this card, some of you, you're just looking for something more. There is just something lacking in life. You are looking for something that makes you passionate again, that makes you excited, that really, kind of fills your soul. And so that can sort of push you to be a little bit reckless or impulsive, because you're just trying to find that thing that makes you feel alive again. And so if that's you, then really, just recognize that that is what you're seeking out here, and then start to find what it is that you're passionate about, what brings you that joy in life, what can bring you those feelings without having to be reckless or kind of impulsive. So the oil of partner with that is the passion blend. It's obviously the oil of finding your passion, but it's also the inspiring blend. So if you are feeling that something's lacking, if you're feeling like you kind of have this sense of duty to other people, to work, to just the expectation of what you should be doing in life, then this oil can help you to be more playful, to be a little bit spontaneous, but most importantly to find that inner passion, to find what you are excited about, what you want to do in life that is going to fill that spot and help you to really just, now I'm on track. Now I'm taking that, conscious action, because I know exactly where I'm headed, and it's not just throwing caution to the wind and trying all sorts of things in the hope that something kind of lands well for you. So I hope that helps. I hope it makes sense, and I'll see you next week. Bye.